KZN Department of Transport needs 1.5 billion to provide free learner transport. Facebook rapist expected to appear in court. I'm Kensani Maranele with your news update. The KwaZulu-Natal Department of Transport says it would need 1.5 billion rand to provide free learner transport in the province. This is according to an analysis done by the department after it took over the learner transport function from education in this financial year. Transport MEC Willis Mchunu and senior officials from his department appeared before the Finance Portfolio Committee during a budget hearing. The province has close to 3 million learners, but only about 13,000 learners have been benefiting from the transport system. Acting Head of Department Sbu Gumbi says the number of schools with learner transport has increased from 27 to 127. Gumbi says the affordability of the process is a challenge.
If as the province were to provide free provision of a learner transport in the province, the reality is that the budget is really amounting to about 1.5 billion, which is indicating that the level of affordability will still be a challenge on its own. Hence, we have been proposing that maybe what we would require to do as a province is to try and come up with a subsidization framework that will be able to take into account that in certain areas, you might not require 100% subsidy for the provision of scholar transport.
Facebook rapist Thabo Bester is expected to appear in the Western Cape High Court today in connection with the murder of a 26-year-old model, Nomfundo Tulu. Last month, the prosecutor asked for the case to be moved to the Western Cape High Court for a pre-trial conference, and the request was granted by the Cape Town Magistrates Court. 23-year-old Bester is accused of murdering Tulu in Milnerton in September last year. She was found stabbed in the chest in a room in a bed and breakfast. He's currently kept at Pollsmoor Prison pending the finalization of the trial. The Joburg-born Bester was nicknamed the Facebook rapist because he lured women through the social networking site. The Durban Regional Court also sentenced him to 50 years in prison last October for raping and robbing 2 women. A North Gauteng High Court review of the National Prosecuting Authority's 2009 decision to drop charges against President Jacob Zuma may well be on the cards. This after both the NPA and President Zuma indicated that they are not going to appeal to the Constitutional Court over last month's Supreme Court of Appeal's ruling. The court ruled that the decision to drop the charges taken in 2009 by the then acting Director of Public Prosecutions, Mokotedi Mpshe, can be reviewed. It then ordered the NPA to release to the DA documents relating to Mpshe's decision. Constitutional law expert Professor Piri de Vos says 2 issues will be revealed in the review.
The first one is, of course, all the evidence on which the NPA decided at the time that actually there was a winnable case against Mr. Zuma. That will have to come out. And then the evidence of the alleged political interference in the timing of instituting the charges against Mr. Zuma. That will also have to come out, in as much as that evidence was not only presented to the NPA by Mr. Zuma or his lawyers.
Piracy at sea in Somalia will never be stopped or rooted out as long as the economic situation and political system of the country is not addressed. This is according to a South African academic, John Gibson, who was one of the panelists at the Indian Ocean Naval Symposium on maritime safety taking place in Cape Town.
Unless actually the situation in Somalia itself, the political and economic situation, is resolved, then there will always be pirates, and the work of the security forces will be to try and contain the consequences. And what we see, of course, is that as the actions in the area around Somalia become more successful,